veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. 'Ice in my veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 6 a.m. and I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, 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 la 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 la. La 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 la. Oh, oh. veins, I've been driving this train. Years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, years in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. And I'm up again. I got tired eyes, need a cup of blend. That's right, in the AM, that's my only friend. No light, just the sun coming up on the horizon. I lose track of time, yeah, I move fast and climb a new class divine, yeah, true passion shines. And I'm through passing time, I choose stacking dimes. You snooze half the time while I move passing by. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capped in space. I won't stop till I hear him say, oh, oh, la, 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 la. I've been driving this train, me is in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got
Yeah, okay, there you go. My microphone now works. Apologies, guys. Yeah, we'll be making a lot of changes to correct the reason why the microphone was fluctuating, wasn't consistently connected. But that's, by the way, I'm going to say good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to you all. I appreciate you all finding the time to join the show this particular morning. I do hope you're all doing well, and I wholeheartedly offer whatever suits your time zone. Yes, we are late to the party, but they say better late than never. We're here to talk about the game, what we'll learn from the game. But before that, we do have some new items to address. Um, Very important, in my opinion. We also have, it looks like we're going to have a lot of people in the house today. Constantine Dunton, big up to you for finding the time to join us this particular morning. Yep. We'll have one, two, about three news items to address. One very important, one not surprising. The transfer window opens in January. The winter transfer window. So rumors are flying around. Some of them you could argue are reckless. But this one is starting to sound to an extent believable. Whether it ends up happening, I do not know. But before we continue talking, I'm going to go to the comment section and say hello to those of you who are there already. We have the coolest chairs. To be good. Big up is in the house. The Echo Man, the Maya Forward, big up, coach. I'm happy we won. I'm sad we won. How does that sound to you? Of course, I'm kidding anyway. And then we have Maya, the rapper. Maya, I appreciate you finding the time to join the show. And then Enzo, he's not going anywhere. Yeah, I know that's your way. Then tomorrow you might come back with a different tone if he underperforms in the game, or maybe you join the herd of people saying the club should sell him. And Nipun Shama, nice to see you, brother. Hopefully, I will find time to be on the panel, on your panel, when next you host the show. I appreciate all the support you've shown to the growth of Chelsea Perspective. I cannot thank you enough. What else do we have here? Give me 1 second here. Maya the rapper, big up Dante. He says, "Na Maya, big up to all of you. Big up to Tobago, big up Dante. I hope you're both doing well."
Yeah,
Yeah,
big up, bro. Oh,
big up to everyone in the chat, Maya. Everyone there, big up.
Thank you, Dante. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. I hope you're recovering well. We haven't forgotten that you did go under the knife, but these days, given medical technology, my belief is that you're stronger than ever. I hope that's the case, Dante.
Not sure about stronger than ever. I'm very weak at the moment. I can't get up, can't move too much, but getting better day by day. But
I mean,
yeah,
stronger than ever in the sense that, yeah, you went under the knife to get away, do away with something. I'm quite sure that happened.
yeah. My disc, coach. It was my disc touching my nerves,
Yeah.
so I had to get in there and separate that, just so the disc doesn't touch the nerve, because that was causing me a lot of nerve pain, obviously down my right leg, my right arm. So yeah, it's fixed now, but I won't know until another couple of weeks, maybe another week or so, when I go see the surgeon again. We'll do some more scans, but yeah, we won't know till then if it's fixed properly or So slowly takes time to heal from the operation. So a couple of weeks, and I should be back up and walking pretty normally again.
We're happy to have you back, and thank you so much for joining us. So the first item here, as you can see on the screen, Isaac to Chelsea. Rumors are back, but would you take him over Gyökeres, Osimhen, and Delap? I take Gyökeres over him because Gyökeres is more of a traditional number 9 than Isaac is. Isaac isn't different from Nicolas Jackson. I don't think it makes sense to get him. In my opinion, he's a good player. You could argue a better finisher than Nicolas Jackson, but there's a lot more that Jackson brings to the table that we've always known is the case. All we've been praying for is for him to improve, and we're seeing signs that he's improving. He's not quite there, but that's not mean that Nicolas Jackson. We're not saying Nicolas Jackson alone is enough, but what the player we're looking for to complement Nicolas Jackson's skills is that guy, Alexander Isak. I'd say no, in my opinion. But Dante, let's hear you.
Okay, no, look, Isak is a very good striker. He's a better striker than Nicolas Jackson, in my opinion. The way he plays, but you're right, they are very similar. The only thing, Isak is a much better finisher. He actually can finish very well in the air. He's a bit more all round than actual Jackson. But we've seen Jackson the last game; he's improving, and he's starting to get a little bit better with his finishing and touches and in the air. So yeah, he's still growing, Jackson. But I definitely would not say no to Isak. I would definitely take Isak 100%. I think he'll fit Maresca very well the way we play. Like you said, he's basically Jackson, but he's better than Jackson. More clinical finisher. A little bit not really more physical, because they're sort of the same. He's a bit taller,
I think
obviously.
Jackson is more physical.
Yeah, look, Isak is pretty physical, but there's not much difference between them, to be honest. He's a little bit taller. That's about it, Isak. But they would complement each other very, very well, to be honest. I would definitely, if we can't get anyone like Gyökeres, for example, if he's not available, there's no other options available, I would definitely not say no to Isak. I think he will suit Maresca very, very well the way we play.
So you think it'd be if we can't get him, you want him at Chelsea, even though we
If
have
he's available and there's no one else available, I would definitely get him at Chelsea. He's a top striker, coach. He's one of the best in the Premier League. He's up there in a better team that plays more to his strengths, and in a better team like we have, I think he'll be even better, to be honest, in the style that Maresca plays. So yeah, he's got a bit extra more than Jackson. He's got that aerial threat more than Jackson, and he can do pretty much what Jackson does, everything. Some things Jackson a little bit better, but Isak is better in a lot of other things as well. So it's not a bad option. If there's no other options available, like you said, if say Gyökeres is available, I would definitely take him because he's a more round striker. But if no one else is available and there's no other strikers available, we need a striker and he's available, I definitely would take him 100%. Why not?
I wouldn't, and I've explained why. It doesn't differ from Nicolas Jackson that much. Jackson can be more physical. He's a much better finisher than Nicolas Jackson, and you could argue an all-round player.
Is Jackson a better finisher? You said
no. He's a much better finisher than Jackson.
Yeah,
Everybody knows that. I wouldn't say otherwise until proven otherwise. I'm just saying I don't think it would make sense to sign him. I'd rather we go for Gyökeres to complement what we'll have already. Because the Jackson role, the hybrid number 9, Cole Palmer can fulfill that role. What's his name? Christopher Nkunku can also fulfill that role. Even who else? Am I missing a name there? We have a couple of players who are capable of
Probably
fulfilling the
Felix can
hybrid
play
number
that
9
role,
role.
and Kunku can play the role, obviously, as well.
Yeah, exactly. So it wouldn't make sense to go to another player of similar profile. Let's just mix it up a bit. Let's hear from the Echo man in Tebe. Woo! Big up, bro. Let's hear you.
Yeah, I have a first question to Dante, and answer it after my analysis about the situation. To be honest, Isaac, I want him at Chelsea because he's a better finisher, just like Dante. But the biggest issue is injury issues. So if you compare him with Victor Gogoretz, 100%, I'll take Victor Gogoretz all day long. But if Isaac, if he's available and we need a striker, I'll take him. And then my question to Dante: if you win the Conference League, are we going to be on camera?
If we win the Conference League, no, it doesn't take that. I can be on camera even if we don't win the Conference League. That's fine, bro.
The Conference League is too cheap.
Yeah, it's not
There is
prestigious
a
enough.
trophy.
You need
It's a
to raise
trophy.
the stakes a bit more. It's not prestigious enough.
Yeah, Isaac for me, I like him. I know currently he's better than Jackson. No, I'd rather we keep Jackson. We already have too many hybrid number 9s, in my opinion. Just mix it up a bit. Not Osimhen for me, Gyökeres or someone else. Yeah, but we'll see.
He's more of a striker than Jackson is, though, Coach. Isaac is definitely more of a striker. He's played there all his career. He's more of a striker than Jackson by quite a bit, the way he plays. So
Mhm.
that's why I still would take him because, yeah, I think it's like you said, similar, but we don't know Jackson yet. He's still slowly improving, but we've seen Jackson many times. Against low blocks, he's done nothing. So there's still a lot of improvement to go in Isaac. But if we really want to compete and challenge, we need another striker. And if Isaac is available and we can't get like someone else, I mean, would you rather have no one else and just stick with what you've got, or would you add Isaac to it? That's basically the question. So
Okay, let me
And
ask you this now, Dante. Aside our respective opinions of this rumor, do you see it happening? I'd say no. He's Newcastle's best player. Let me just to be safe. One of Newcastle's best performers or players. I don't see them selling him, except
I
if
think,
he
yeah,
asks to leave.
exactly. If they don't
So
finish
I
top
don't
four,
see it
Coach,
happening. But let's get your opinion on whether you see it happening, whether the possibility is there.
100% are seeing happening. If Newcastle fall away like they did, and they'd not finish in the top four, not even maybe top 5, 6,
You'd see him wanting to leave.
he'll. I look. He's a top striker, like you said. A lot of clubs will be after him, not just us. If that happens, and why would he stay there if he's been there already a few seasons and they're going backwards and they haven't invested in the team, and they do have the money, but they're not investing in the team because they haven't got their books in order. Well, I see
Mhm.
him and Guimaraes and those type of players, the best players, like you said, they're gonna leave because they're gonna. If we go into the Champions League, and we know Newcastle's a pretty massive club, it's a big club, but it's still not
Okay, let's
Chelsea.
be more specific. Him joining Chelsea, not just leaving Liverpool, not just leaving Newcastle United, and the fact that there be many clubs interested in signing him.
Yeah,
Do you see him joining Chelsea Football Club? I'm gonna say no right now. Why? He's currently on 120, and if going by the fact what you just said already, there will not be shortage of clubs interested in signing Isaac, which means he'd have better offers on the table. They're not gonna try to get him on a heavily incentivized contract. They'd give him like just like Chelsea we offer to players. So I don't see him joining
we
Chelsea from that perspective.
we
But you
don't
go
know that.
ahead.
We don't know that, Coach, because the other teams don't have that room maybe to do that. You know the PSR is very strict
Hmm.
and very close. we're probably one of the teams that can fit more players in because we're so far ahead of everyone. We've planned it so much better.
But we want a situation where, when it's time to renew the contracts of those players, given the sort of contract they have, is the reason why we still have room to accommodate more players. What do you think happens when it's time for them to renew their contract? They ask for a lot more.
Yeah, but that's just how it is. And if we're gonna qualify for Champions League and get better, well, that's just normal. You have to. Then you gotta start choosing the players you want to keep. But that doesn't take away from adding Isaac. Like you said, he's on a very average wage at Newcastle. Uh, we can pay him more than Newcastle if we want to, and I think he's definitely he would come to Chelsea if Newcastle don't show ambition. Maybe January and they fall back and they don't even get, say, Europa League. I think even Champions League, to be honest, I think some of the best players will leave because what's the point of playing there if it's been years now, 2-3 years in a row. They had that great year, but if they fall back and they're going backwards and backwards and backwards, why would they stay there? They're going to want to go join a team that is in the Champions League, bigger club, even though Newcastle are a big club. We're a bigger club, much bigger club in that sense. And yeah, I can see him 100% leaving. I wouldn't be. I would be very surprised if he stayed there, and they're not qualifying for Europe and they're going backwards. These players, I don't think. I think they last year was an anomaly because stuff that happened with the finances and stuff. But if they don't invest in the team and they don't show they want to go become massive like they promised, well, I don't see these players staying. Why would you be a top striker in the Premier League? Because let's be honest, he's probably a top 5 striker in the Premier League. Why would he stay at Newcastle? No European football, going backwards, not doing anything. I don't see any reason why these players will stay there. They would want to join the bigger clubs.
All right, I do understand. Yeah, but even we thought that him and Guimaraes would leave Newcastle last transfer or summer transfer window. It didn't happen. But let's see what happens. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, and because we're streaming in the vertical format, hold and press your screen for just about a second. You'd see the option to like, dislike, or comment on the video. Help us get the likes up, people. We sincerely do appreciate that. Once again, apologies, we're late to the party, but at least we're here. Better late than never. Let's see what else we have here. Keep dropping the likes on the stream, people, and keep the topics aligned if you'd like me to get what you have in the chat. Jackson will become as good as Isaac by the end of the season, and maybe he will surpass him. Taking Isaac will only interfere with the development of Jackson. Here's the thing. From the perspective of interfering, let me use the word you used there, of the development of a certain player or a particular player, it's not my concern because that's what big clubs do. If you feel
can't
like
have just one
player, sorry,
you can't have just one striker for the whole
Yeah.
season. That's silly in modern football. You need 2, even 3.
Yeah.
You need 2 top class strikers and one behind that. It was going to become that, but you can't have just one because there's so many injuries that can happen. He's going to AFCON. There's so many things that can happen. You can't have one.
And that's what big clubs do. So,
Exactly,
but
yeah.
I like to see it from the perspective. Okay, do they each complement each other, or would it just be stockpiling players of the same profile and not have good balance in the team? That's the way I like to see it. I'm not concerned whether we have 10 strikers or not. I look for balance. And with him, I don't think we'd have good balance. You see that he comes or Nicolas Jackson leaves. Having them both, I don't think makes any sort of sense in my opinion. We need to mix it up a bit to have good balance, but that's just my opinion anyway. Let's see. Wycliffe Barros, thank you for that particular comment there. I appreciate you. Yeah, we need a proven Premier League goalkeeper. I want Jorgensen to get a chance. I think he will get his chance eventually. Good morning to you too, Chelsea FC Jingles. Jude, nice to see you, my New York bro. I do hope you're doing well. Enzo showed the kind of performance expected from him. Assist and a goal. We'll get there. He's been showing that for a while. Even when he doesn't assist, he still gets the job done. But more importantly, nice to see you, bro. I would give the chance to Jackson. He deserves it. But I hear you guys are getting a top striker just in case Nicolas Jackson misses some games. Not just for that. We need to mix it up a bit to have that balance. But I don't want us to go for a striker and pay something north of 70, 80 million pounds and then only get to use that striker in certain games. I want the sort of striker that, yeah, if you could hear that can, you can say, could start in the same game with Nicolas Jackson, if that makes sense. Not one, you say we'll sign them, then we'll see, we'll have to, just like under Thomas Tuchel, where we'll have 1,008s and none of them was really good at fulfilling the number 8 role. All right, keep dropping the likes on the stream. The likes do go a long way. Go get the lap. Go get the lap. Jackson is improving. I think the CC is gone. Okay, a lot packed there, but let's pay attention to the one that's aligned with the current topic. The lap. I don't. I need to see more. I don't think he's Chelsea level yet, and I think we should be looking to sign a lot more better players so that we can improve on what we have. And not just assign the lab for the sake of it. I don't know. Tabejo, you have anything to say with that? You want the lab at Chelsea?
Nah. As much as I like the kid, nah. I don't, to be honest, I don't want another kid at Chelsea. I know. I'm not saying Victor Gogoretz or even Isaac is still young, is old, but again, I want the player who's experienced. For example, the lab will need time to develop also. Can we develop every player? Is it good enough for the coach? I don't think so. It's not helping as a coach. So we need, for example, like you said, the Newcastle striker, Victor Gogoretz, for example, maybe let's say Benjamin Sasko has been playing 4 to 3 years now in Germany. So those kind of players, they left from the academy, then he went to the championship. I don't think he's ready for a big club like Chelsea. But in football, never say never. To be honest, I don't want him because of that.
All right, I'll get to Dante in a bit. I know someone will eventually mention his the Manchester City ties. Liam Delap is a is a promising player. I would love him here. Let's still the City Gems. Yeah. I agree. We cannot just have one striker, but I wouldn't want someone who will bench a Jackson when he is fit. That's why we're Chelsea. If we can bench him, get him. In my opinion, but I have my concerns. So I believe we can go very far with Jackson. Remember, it's just his second season. Yeah, for fair point, Tabejo. The lap, Dante. Let's hear you. Your opinion.
Yeah, pretty much like Tabega said, I wouldn't now. No, there's no point getting him now. He's a very young, very developing player as well. Just first season now, just first 10 games, 11 games in the Premier League. So no, I wouldn't get him either. 100%. I agree with Tobago there. We need to get someone that's already there, that's doing it. A younger guy as well, doesn't need to be an older guy, but yeah, around that. Isaac's is a good age. Even Gyökeres is not too bad. So yeah, I think we need that more proven striker that can really compete with Jackson. And like you said, we're a big club. We need a striker. It doesn't matter if Jackson gets benched. We need a striker that, if he's much better than Jackson, well, he plays. Simple. That's for Jackson to get even better and take his place. So we need that. If we're gonna qualify Champions League every season, you need that. And if we want to go for the champion to actually win something and to compete from now on, well, then that's the plan. You need another top guy up front, 100%.
Yep, Dante, without letting you go, let's jump into the game proper. Let's try again. Let's get done with the match a review exercise, and we can go news hunting again. But I felt like that was very important, so we had to address it first. You watched the game. Your overall observation from your overall observations from the game. I'd like you to help highlight what you can say the measure of difference that Enzo Fernández made on the day. I know even after that game, a lot of people, for instance, my friend in Calito, still wouldn't give him credit for for the measure of difference he made on the day. And remember, during the pregame show, we did talk about the importance of not going with the pairing of Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo, because we need to go at Leicester City. And had we gone with the latter, no, with the first, I think chances are we wouldn't have won that game in my opinion. But let's say, Dante, the measure of difference we experienced given the presence of Enzo Fernandez on the pitch. I want to hear from you.
Yeah, Carlito, yeah, I saw he posted like, yeah, it's Enzo's fault we're conceded the goals. So yeah, we're still criticizing him. Anyway, look, yeah, it was good to see Maresca set up that attacking formation that I wanted to see. We were basically like I was saying before, I hope he goes with what he did against Noah, very similar what he did against Noah, where we got the three at the back and just one defensive midfielder, and then basically, like 5 or 4 and one up front. And that's exactly what he did. We went after them. Leicester City sat back as we said they will. They'll play low block. And that's exactly, they were very deep doing nothing. So yeah, we were all over them. We did what we have to do. Enzo was crucial in that. He controlled the game. He didn't sit back. He played that box-to-box CM role, but he was everywhere. He was putting in tackles. He was just, doing all the tempo play, slower, speeding it up, making it slower.
And he showed he could run too.
Out wide, he was putting the effort in. He ran quite a lot. Yes, he covered quite a lot of kilometers, and yeah, he had a complete all game round defensively and offensively, and he made those box runs that Maresca keeps saying in interviews. I keep hearing him saying that's what he wants from his midfielders, to make those box runs, and from his wingers. So they're there for crumbs, basically. Like Jackson, when he headed that great header, you saw Enzo making the sprint, running into the box, and it was a simple finish. But that's what you have to do. The top midfielders, the ones that are around in that area, not the DMs, the ones that go a bit more forward, you have to do that, because otherwise, you don't get goals. And he did that. So it's good to see, because he has criticized him and other players in the past for not doing that. And you saw him doing that. Perfect. He got a goal. He got rewarded with the goal and with the assist as well, because he pushed forward as well. So yeah, look, perfect all around performance, defensively, offensively, orchestrating everything. 100% man of the match for me. He had an amazing game, and that's what you want to see from him. Now, it was Leicester, of course. They did sit back, like I said, but after half an hour in that, Leicester decided we're not sitting back anymore, and they started going at us.
I don't listen to people when they start mentioning the names of the team we beat, because if we lose to them, it would still be we couldn't beat Leicester. If we beat them, it's here. It was just Leicester City.
Yeah.
So
I just want to point out the way they were playing, coach, because they played really low block first half an hour. Yeah, like really low block.
No, I understand your point. I just want to feel like I should, talk about that too. How people would lose or win against a perceived weaker opposition is still an issue, irrespective of the outcome. But go ahead.
Yeah. So after half an hour, Leicester changed it. They went at that usual sort of game, more open attacking. They went at us a bit more, and yes, they got through us a little bit more. But I still think we were pretty comfortable, and we still did it. We did what we have to do,
and we could have scored a lot more.
We should have scored a lot more that early phase. 100%. Yeah, we should have scored a whole more, and even after that, we should have still scored. But look, overall, we had a great game. It was pretty comfortable. Besides, obviously, a little bit at the end, obviously, and a couple of calls again when against us. The refereeing seems like it's getting more shocking each week. I don't know what they're doing there, but yeah, it would have been 100% a red card. It would have been a very easy game if they got a red card.
Possibly two red cards, actually.
2 red cards, 100% one red card. Even the second one, to be honest.
The other one could have gone either. Yeah.
Even the penalty at the end, in my opinion, that was not a penalty that they got. The guy tripped over himself and fell down first. So to me, that's not a penalty. Even that one for them is not a penalty. But either way, it doesn't matter. We won. I'm just very happy, and I like the way Maresca, we went at Leicester. We did not sit back. Like I said, we played with one defensive midfielder. We left Caicedo there, 3 defenders only, and we saw that 3-1-5-1 attacking lineup that I want to see against these teams, because you can blow them off the park very quickly if you come out and go with that. And we basically did that half an hour. We should have been up a lot more. So, and Love that from Maresca. That's what I want to see. After that, the second half, yeah, we controlled it a bit more. They went at us a bit more, and then we changed it up little bit more defensive. But we just saw out the game basically. So all around perfect performance for me. The coach did well. A lot of the players did very well, except the keeper again, of course. We won't go there. I'm sure we'll talk about him later.
Yeah, he did his thing.
Yeah, he did his usual thing that he always does. So he's actually consistent, isn't he? He's very consistent at least. So yeah, look, for me, good game plan. Love to see it. We saw Cucurella didn't invert really. He was more that left winger, pushing up. So we didn't see any sort of inverting going on. So we saw that
Yeah,
basically
he operated a lot more in a traditional manner.
in a traditional manner, but more forward as a left winger. So Felix can tuck in and come and join Palmer in the middle.
I think
Because that's where his game
probably
is
that was
strong.
down to the fact Maresca, knowing that they'd expect him to do that, and probably had plans in place to exploit that approach, and he
Of course.
tweaked it a bit.
He tweaked
100%.
that specifically for that. He knew exactly, what they were going to do, basically.
Yeah. So
And he
here's what I'm
tweaked.
going to do. I'm going to catch up. Go ahead. Sorry if you were still
No,
speaking.
it's all good. Go ahead, catch up. It's all good.
I'm going to catch up what we have in the chat. Come back to Tabejo. After he speaks, we'll look at Enzo Fernandez's number. Yep, a fair point there. Joe Shields is the Labs signing. If we haven't signed them already. Isaac is the one. Victor sounds better too, considering he's much cheaper than Isaac. That's an argument right there. I don't know if people see the reason why Palmer was more advanced was because Enzo was so effective in the midfield. Yeah, I think if you understand football, you'd know why Cole Palmer has struggled a little bit. Is for me, Dante, we've talked about already, down to the absence of Enzo Fernandez, which means Palmer, in most cases, whenever he's on the pitch, he had to drop deep to come get the ball, which reduces the number of times he's closer to the final third whenever we're on the ball. But that's, by the way, again, the manager realized that he had to say that was one of the games that he felt like, yeah, definitely Enzo Fernandez must start, even though he arrived late. He arrived back late. That shows you when we really need to attack, he needs to be on the pitch. And for him to have preferred the pairing of Romeo Lavia and Moises Caicedo was just to ensure defensive solidity. And if you understand football, you'd know that was the case. But a lot of people didn't know that that's it. Enzo is done. And I'm telling you right now, we're not going to look to sell him. Tabejo, your opinion on Enzo Fernandez's impact on that game that day?
Yeah.
Did we lose
You know what?
Tabejo?
No. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Well, let me turn his power back on, coach.
Yeah, you know what? In terms of Enzo Fernandez, I think he's more comfortable playing that side on the right hand side than the left hand side. We saw that. And also, what I loved about this game is that João Felix and Cole Palmer together looks.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about João Felix independently. I think for me, off the bat, he proved that he's a much better 10 than all the people we've had playing that position. But go ahead with what you were saying.
Okay, let's stick to Enzo then, and then
Yeah,
we're going
right
to
now,
talk
yeah.
about it. Yeah. So in terms of Enzo, I think he made the haters hate him more because they want him to fail. And we told them that in terms of Enzo Fernandez, the coach doesn't need to play him every game. Sometimes we need balance in order to win games. And against Leicester City, we had no threat. That's why we were playing Enzo and Moses Caicedo. But if, for example, we were playing Liverpool, Arsenal, Enzo was going to be benched because of the physicality of their midfield and stuff. So overall, I think the game plan worked smartly, and I'm happy with the performance. But like Dante said, I'm not happy with our goalkeeper. That guy should be sold. I don't know when. It's awful.
I think eventually he's gonna get dropped, whether that be after we signed Hermanson. I'm not sure. But I think Jorgensen is capable of fulfilling that goalkeeping role for us effectively, in my opinion, much better than what's his name, Robert Sanchez, because it's become a habit. It's not a one-off thing. We've all seen, yeah, he frequents that mistakes at least one per game. Maresca said he told all midfielders have to always arrive late in the box. Houston, this is the second thing I'm hearing. He told players that has helped them improve their game. The one during one of the our midweek games when Mudryk scored a header. The other end after a cross, was it a corner kick or so? And he talked about how he told him to always be there, to stay there, even if his teammate misses out on the ball, and he'd be there to head it in. In the case of Enzo Fernandez, he told him to always arrive in the box late, which means, yeah, they're not gonna the other team are not gonna expect you, and that led to him getting a goal, not the sort of goal he usually gets. Because in most cases, when he gets goals, it's him shooting from outside the box. Correct me if I'm wrong. So I think he's improving them. He's helping the players become better, understanding the game even better, because they're all kids. Just like, who was that was on Talksport saying how Maresca taught him a lot more about the game, something he didn't know actually, something to the effect, something he didn't know existed, but he learned more about him. He's more of,
yeah. Albrighton.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, was that who?
Albrighton.
Albrighton, yeah. So I'm happy he's helping these players become better, understand the game from a tactical perspective, and not just be on the pitch to have fun, but know a few things. And you should hear Marco Correa talk about him too. I think he used the term he's very intelligent. And they're all happy because if you prove that you know what you're doing, when you lead people, they listen to you. Yeah, I'm happy. Really, Dante. Anything you want to add to that comment on the screen? How he's improving the players?
Yeah, exactly, coach. Yeah, it's very important. But this also comes for them to make these runs. For the wingers, it's a little bit easier because they're already up there. But for the midfielders, it's much harder, especially when we play. You need to have that instinct of all IQ to do it, but you also have to really have that tank, that aerobic capacity to do that a lot, because it takes a lot out of you doing that. The older you get, usually after around 20, that start really expanding that aerobic capacity, and you're really much stronger, and you can run more, and you're basically more developed. And yeah, your fitness is much you're at a peak sort of fitness level with that. That's always a problem with young players. It's very hard to do that for them, because they do that and they don't time it correctly. They sprint, they go there, and then they have no more breath. They finish. They can't do it anymore. So that is a very important part of the game that a lot of people don't really look at it. But you only get that tank to play like that when you're 23, 24, some 25, depends on the individual. But when you're that mid age, you get that capacity to run like that, and you're able to do that a lot more. I think we're going to start seeing that from, so he's that age now, 24. That sort of age, he'll be able to run a lot more up and down.
Yeah. It looks like you
don't
went
look
back
at that side of the game.
Yeah. It looks like you went back to your Walmart level internet connection, Dante.
No.
No, I'm seeing the signal here. It's really poor. It's actually showing that you're not connected to the internet. But I understand. You say you use your mobile device. That's the issue, really. But that's by the way. And Jude, I've tried to trigger the command to link people to your YouTube channel, but it's not working. Nightbot is saying he's not he's haphazard at work, not fully at work. But you know what to do. You can share that manually, bro. I appreciate you finding the time to join us. Tabejo, you want to speak about how Enzo Maresca has improved our players before we go to looking at Enzo Fernandez's numbers?
100%, bro. 100%. You know what I like about Enzo Maresca? He said it that in order for the team to do well, he needs to improve the players first. then everything will come eventually. So we can see the players are improving. They're starting to be tactically good, which is a good thing. And
Yeah,
if you don't,
tactically good is the term. Not just be on the pitch and wait for the manager to tell you everything, but learn, uh, add it to your reservoir of footballing knowledge and do, you know, something nice with it, even without the manager screaming. But go ahead with what you're saying.
100%. And also, I think that our players are learning how to manage the game now. For example, we're leading 2-0, but it seems like we're leading 5-0 because we're cruising at Leicester City Stadium. So overall, I think we are improving time by time. Hopefully, the players won't mess it up when we need them. But so far, so good, coach.
So far, so good. The game management you talked about, I'd say
Yep.
I give credit to João Felix. But we'll get to that in a bit. Before we talk about João Felix, let's look at the Enzo Fernandez's numbers. He was excellent on the day. Okay, let's go up here. Top stats, a 9.0 rating, minutes played 90 minutes, 1 goal, 1 assist, total shots, 3 in total. Accurate passes 50 out of 59, that's 85%. Pass accuracy, chances created 3 in total. Expected goals, his XG is 0.8 and 9. Expected goals on target, is 0.99. Expected assist 0.22. XG, we don't need that. Fantasy point, we don't need that. Shot accuracy 1 out of 2, 50%. That's excellent. Blocked shot 1, touches 82. Touches in the opposition box 5 in total. Successful dribbles 0 out of 1 attempt. Passes into the final third 5. Accurate crosses 0 out of 3. He took corners, right? That's usually the one why that's a high. Accurate long balls 2 out of 5, 40%. You could say can be better. Corners 3. Yep, yeah, I knew that was the case. Non-penalty XG 0.87. Defense, tackles 1, 2 out of 5, not bad for a player with an accused of not being, you can say, being a liability defensively. Clearances 2, header clearances, and it's not the tallest. 1. Interceptions 1, defensive actions 9 in total, recoveries 5. Dribbled past 1 time. Duels. Duels 1, 7 in total. Duels lost 2. Grand duels 1, 7 out of 9, 78%. That's excellent for a player. Once again, we've all been accusing of not being a defensive liability whenever he's on the pitch. He was fouled twice, fouls committed once. Excellent on the day, in my opinion. But quickly, go and check out Chelsea FC Jingles. Let's help him get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. He shared the link to his YouTube channel there. Please go check it out. Be sure to subscribe. Let's help him continue to grow. Okay, you must be a Man City player. He said he blames Ike Gundogan. Barca did not win Travis. Now it's City. Please go join Taman. Go join our sister channel. There we cover all football clubs. It's called Soccer Perspective. His numbers shows, he had a very good game. So what else? Let's talk about João Felix, Dante. For me, he's an intelligent player. We've all known that. And I think the manager is molding him to become the player he wants him to be. Yesterday, he didn't attempt dribbles all the time. Yesterday, he was always looking to ensure, you could say, the ball, when we have the ball, we are, again, if there's no space on this side, he moves it to the other angle there. And he helped us control the game when we were leading, even after 1-0, when it was just 1, we weren't so much in a hurry to attack, because that's part of controlling the game, because that could lead to you making a mistake, and then the opposition will get the opportunity to hit you on the break and get a goal. So he was not so much in a hurry. He knows when to take it back, when to just move it to the central area. And in tight spaces, he was able actually to find good solutions. There was one, Cole Palmer, on his day, you could say, he could have put that away. But how he missed it, I don't know. And he was just brilliant on the day. For me, he proved that you can say he's better at fulfilling the number 10 role than any other player we have at the club currently, in my opinion. But Nancy, let's hear you. João Felix on the day.
Yeah, it was terrific. the first thing is Maresca in a position to, first of all, the positioning and around him. He had always an outlet to pass, and that's what happens when you play with two basically in behind. So he's always had Palmer there to play the 1-2 with, or a little touch wide, or you had, like I said, we played that 5 across the almost the front and the one striker. So he always had someone to go to. The wingers, Palmer. When you put a player like that, because we all know how technically gifted he is and how good he is in tight spaces, in all spaces really, but especially tight spaces. You give him the outlet to have passes, or always have someone there to play with him. Well, yeah, he's going to shine, and that's exactly what he did. But probably what he's shown most, we saw the best of him is probably defensively working back a lot. His tenacity, the way he was going after, running around everywhere, putting challenges in. That's something you don't see from players like, because they don't like to do that. But that just shows how much he wanted to show that he belongs and that he wants that spot. And he was trying his hardest to show I can do that part of the game as well, because we know that's a big criticism part of his game, that everyone always criticizes him that, yeah, he doesn't do any defensive works. But he did probably the most defensive works I've seen him do in a game ever in that game. So he had a complete all-round game as well, one of the best on the field, 100%. But yeah, I put it down to Maresca putting him next to Palmer there and having the 5 options for him to pass the left, right, forward, back, everywhere. There was a lot of players around him because we were that offensive. So yeah, I love this game. It definitely belongs. And like I said, he showed that passion and that what you want to see from a player that getting his chance. So yeah, happy to see that. Hopefully that continues. And like you said, yeah, for the number 10 role, there's one player probably better than him, and that's Palmer in that 10 role. But Palmer, especially lately, if you put something like that to help him even more, he doesn't have to deal. Well, yeah, you're going to get the best out of both of them. So yeah, 100% amazing game.
And as young as Felix is, he's a very experienced player. He's played a lot of games, understands the game very well. And I think that will go along with us. So that is something that I want to ask you. Do you see him becoming a regular in the so-called first team, or first 11, or maybe a team? I don't know.
I wouldn't say a regular. Like the teams that are differently, so I don't think he will be a regular. Will he play more? Yes, I think he'll definitely play more, especially from what we saw from him. I think he'll definitely play more. For me, like that, especially low blocks, I would 100% play him in, and I would move Palmer to the right. Yeah, for me, Nani would. We'll touch on him later a little. I hope as well, Nani a little bit later. But yeah, I would play Palmer out wide in those games because they can come in and just like they can overlapping player like we saw. So yeah, he would definitely for me start 100% in against low block teams. He would definitely 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, listen. I think I've heard people say that signing Felix was a huge mistake, that we didn't need him. I think we do need him. He's unique, his experience, even though he's still very young. But yeah, he's very experienced. He's played
Yeah,
quite
and
a
if
lot
Palmer
of
goes
games.
down with an injury or is not available, well, there's your replacement straight away. So yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and he can actually play a right winger 10, wherever, again, in whatever position that Palmer was playing before he gets injured. But God forbid, both can actually be in the same on pitch at the same time for us, and still, just like they did in the last game, he was just brilliant, really. And Maya is saying Felix came back to being a wonder kid. He's no longer a kid, in my opinion. He's one of our most experienced players, irrespective of how old he is. I loved it when he was winning duels and the 1v1s. Felix, this guy, he was excellent. So let's look at his numbers before we go to Bejo to get his thoughts on João Felix's performance. Again, in that game, FOTMOB rates him a 7.8, and he played for 81 minutes. Total shots of 3. Accurate passes 37 out of 44, 84%. Not bad. Chances created 1. Expected goals 0.11. What else is important here? let's say we don't need fantasy points. Shot accuracy 0 out of 2. Yeah, those were awful shots. One was a volley. The other one was from a rebound from a corner kick. I don't know. He took it too casually.
And that's one
Thought,
criticism of him as well, coach. His
yeah,
finishing.
in that game.
He tries to do two special finishes when he has to, sometimes to keep it simple and put your foot through it. But no, he tries something a little bit more, and it never works.
Yeah, I hope he overcomes that. That was, you could say, the only criticism of him was those two chances. Passes into the final third three, it's slow because he lives there. Accurate long balls, 2 out of 3, 67%, not bad. He was dispossessed 0 times. That hardly ever happens, actually. Defense, yep. Tackles 1, 2 out of 3. Even you don't need the numbers to tell you how effective he was defensively. There was one actually that he did a slide tackle. I thought that was going to be our throw because the ball looked like as if he touched the opposition before he went away. But the point is that slide tackle there was excellent, actually. Well timed. He can be hardworking, and I think everything comes down to the manager's demands of him. Clearance is none from him. Interceptions none from him. Defensive actions 3 in total. Recoveries 5. Dribbled past 1 time. Duels 1, 10. Duels lost 5. Grand duels 1, 9 out of 14. 64%. That's not easy. Aerial duels 1, 1 out of 1. 100%. Was fouled twice. It was an excellent outing for him, in my opinion. Tabejo, let's hear you. Felix's performance in that game.
Yeah, I thought João Félix was fantastic. I loved him and Cole Palmer playing that number 10 role. Oh man, I enjoyed that. Like I said, during the halftime, I was so frustrated because I thought he should have at least scored one of those chances. I think he had 3 chances, if I'm not mistaken, the first time. Oh, only 2 chances. So I thought he should have scored either one of them at least. But overall, his performance, his defending attributes, and everything, I think he was fantastic. So hopefully, we can see them playing together again, just for them to build the relationship and stuff. But again, it depends on which game are we playing. For example, I would say maybe if we play against Southampton, even Ipswich Town, I'll play two of them again. Why not?
Yeah. Dante, let's hear you. Anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, exactly. Look, again, some of the sort of mid-table to lower team that play sit back a lot. Like I said, we need to get on that front foot and score those early goals, because if we don't score those early goals, the other teams are always in it and they change their style of playing completely. And once they score that first goal, if they get ahead of us, it changes the game completely. But if we do, then it's a big difference. So that's exactly what I want to see. I want to see that attacking lineup against all these teams. First of all, we need the points. They're the ones that we struggled with last season. So we need the points. And those are the games you can be a more offensive and be more positive and showcase the attacking players we have, because we've got plenty of them.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Dante. Stop complimenting Felix. It is only one game. He definitely not in Chelsea starting 11. Here's the thing. I understand your opinion, but something I want to say is this. You could say that our opinion of him is driven mainly because we know him even before him performing as well as he did in that particular game. In other games he's played, he's done well actually, but he hadn't played in the Premier League as often as most of us would have wanted. Then he got the opportunity to do that, and he did well. So again, it's not a one-off thing. If you knew who he was before that game, you wouldn't be surprised to see him perform at the level he did on the day. Dante, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
No, coach, that's pretty much it. But look, he's not in the starting 11. I don't think so either, but he's very close. But in a lot of games, he is in the starting 11, but not Not 100%. You can say now he's 100% in the starting 11. No, and you can't say
I mean,
that right now.
he has to. You can say fight for his place, and if it does well, he gets a chance to play.
Exactly. Like I said, after that performance, it's only going to help, and we're going to see him in a lot more games because of it.
Yeah.
And
Thank you
and
so much.
also,
Go ahead.
and also we need to compliment players if they played very well. So I don't understand T-Man when he's saying that we don't need to compliment João Felix. But again, do we have to criticize the players all the time? Even they played well, I don't think so.
Yeah. Thank you so much for
100%.
that. And Tim Taos, it's not a fight. And I think he's told you that. Maya has told you that already. You see, it wasn't. Yeah. But I love Maya. He just told you it's all love, bro. It's just banter, and I hope you can understand that. Taos, Mr. Taos, there, saying I would want Felix to play regularly. I would too. I think he makes a whole. He makes it. He makes difference. And here's the thing: he's just 25, but in terms of experience, he's one of the most experienced players we have at the club. He's played quite a lot of games. And he can be defensively useful too. If you ask him to track back, he can. What I fear is that him not trying to again overdo it and then end up getting red carded like his debut for Chelsea Football Club. But he's an intelligent player, has excellent passing range. He can be good aerially. He's not the tallest, but he can be good aerially. And on his day, if it doesn't want, you cannot muscle him off the ball easily. In tight spaces, is capable of finding effective solutions, and he did show that yesterday. So we're going to need him in a lot of games. Maybe he's not going to attend. I agree with that. There's no way he'd play, become a regular. I think the manager will be rotating players. I think probably we'll see the midweek would see Romeo Lavia. Is he registered for the midweek games? I don't think he is. Is
No,
he?
no, it's not registered.
Oh, he's not registered. Okay. But we'll see. Who has Dante? Let's look at let's look at Nani Madigan. But Dante, before we do that, the I don't know if you've rewatched the game. I haven't. I don't think he was 4-1-4-1. I think he was something 3-4-2-1 or so.
No, three
No,
one five one.
3-1-5-1, coach. Yep, correct.
Yes,
Three
I
one
watched the
five
game.
one, right? But it was three at the
Yes,
back, definitely.
yes.
Yeah, because we realized it
Yeah,
during the pregame
when we had the
show.
ball, yes, in possession.
Yeah. And we realized it during the pregame show that was definitely a three at the back approach. We use our board, tactical board, to also show why that makes sense. Benoît Badiashile left center back, Levi Colwell central, Wesley Fofana right center back. Whatever happens upward, midfield, and but we knew it was going to be a back three. And just as they did the last time we played with the back three midweek, I think, they Badiashile and Colwell looked at home. It looked like again playing with that structure does come natural to them, and they did well. But let's get your thoughts, Dante.
Yeah, they did well. Obviously, Cucurella would come back as a left back when we're not in possession. But in possession, yeah, definitely three at the back. Like you said, Badiashile had probably his best game for a very long time, one of his best games ever.
He looks
So that was
rebound.
good it's good to see he still has that he still
Mhm.
can do it. So he did everything defensively, forward progression, passing, left, right, back, absolutely everything. He looked right at home, like you said. Fofana had another amazing game. Yeah, he backed that up. So that's a promising signs there. Colwell, probably out of all the defenders, he's the one that probably full of lapses.
Didn't do much, but it wasn't a poor game for him. And considering the fact that later on we learned that he wasn't fully fit,
Yeah.
just
Look, he was
had to
that
play because we
central.
lacked numbers. Yeah, given the
Yeah, he
structure
was
the manager
central.
wanted to go with. But go ahead, what you were saying.
Yeah, he was that central, like when in the three. So he hasn't done that much, to be honest. He hasn't played that too much, that sort of central role alone like that. So look, he did well. He did okay, but I still think I saw a lot of positioning not very good, and a couple of lapses where we got caught out were because of him. So I still think quite a bit. Uh, didn't do too bad, but out of the other defenders, he was the one that I would pick out that struggled a little bit. Not that it was that bad, but still, yeah, he was the one. Good to
Yeah.
see. I
Thank
love the formation, like I said.
hmm
Yeah, go on,
Yeah,
coach.
Dante. Tabeo, let me look at Badiashile's numbers. I'll come back to you to get your thoughts on to learn what you
Yeah.
make of his performance in that game. 7.9 rated minutes played, 90 minutes. Accurate passes, 92 out of 103. I get it. The argument was so, you can say, common. People still present the argument that yeah, it was mainly safe passes. But here's the thing: safe option passes. But here's the thing: even the non-safe option passes weren't just simple passes. I think he was trying to break the lines, even as a defend, even from a defensive position. And he's excellent at, you could say, displacing the opposition players, because yeah, his progressive passes are enjoyable to watch, and in most cases he keeps them on the carpet. He's also capable of orchestrating non-ground, you say, long balls. Again, non-carpet long balls, and trust me, he's an excellent passer of the ball.
Yeah,
Badiashile.
the
He
first
reads the
half an
game
hour,
very
coach.
well too. Sorry.
The first half an hour, you can say, yeah, very safe passes. They weren't. It was open completely, but after that, Leicester was pressuring us the whole game, so there wasn't many safe
And
passes
yet he
after that.
did well too.
Very well, he did very well.
Yeah, and one thing I like about his progressive passes, he displaces the opposition players. The slightest of spaces he finds, he can orchestrate. He can find his teammate beyond with just that tiny bit of space you leave for him on the pitch. But I do appreciate his performance, and as Dante said, he showed that he still got it in him. And trusting Badiashile, I think will go a long way, and hopefully the club, they don't, you can say, give up on him. But from the brief we heard the last time, it shows they trust him. They're not looking to sell him, and I hope that's the case, because he's an intelligent player. Which was intelligence is one thing I look for players first and foremost, and he's got that. But Tobeho, let's hear your thoughts on Badiashile's performance in that game.
Yeah, I thought Badiashile was fantastic. He played very well. I know he made one of two sloppy mistakes, but again, they didn't end up being a goal. But overall, his performance was very, very good. So hopefully, can continue on doing that, so that we don't hear any media talking about selling him or those kind of things. Because the time we signed him in January, I think he was one of our best players that time. So I don't know what happened. Maybe injuries made him be not having more confident again. But if Enzo Maresca can give him that confidence, I think we have a fantastic player ahead of us. You just need to stop doing those silly mistakes, just like Robert Sanchez. But I'm not comparing the two players. I'm just saying he needs to stop doing those silly mistakes.
Yeah, and here Maya is asking, do you guys think Badiashile should be starting in the Premier League? I'm guessing. Sorry if again, I'm in the process of remixing your comment that I am misquoting you.
Yes.
I hope that's not the case. I'm quite sure you mean if it should be starting in the Premier League. Here's the thing. I think he should. I like a Levi Kowa too, but I take Benoît Badiashile over him anytime, any day. They're both good players, and chances are, as Cowell becomes, the more he becomes polished, the better he'd be. But right now, I think every now and then you see stuff that shows you, yeah, he's still very raw. He has a long way to go. Badiashile more experience, probably, yeah, because he's played more senior games than Levi Cowell, in my opinion. But I think he should be starting. I wouldn't mind Badiashile and Wesley Fofana, who's quickly, you can say, my complaint of him is that yeah, he's come across as not polished, but he's that aspect of his game is improving. If he can learn not to you can say go into trying to put orchestrate tackles in a hurry and gets dribbled as if he's a pole, I think that will make him a much better player. But he's getting there. He's showing that, yeah, even after being out for 1,000 years, nothing. The footballing abilities are still intact, and in him also. I don't know. That's just my opinion. I'd start Benoît Badiashile over Levi Colwill. I think he's also better aerially. Both are excellent in terms of their how good they are in terms of passing the ball. I can't quite tell who's the better passer of the ball between the two of them. But that's my opinion. Dante, let's hear you, Benoît Badiashile or Levi Colwill, because you could say the two of them are the ones competing when we go with the traditional flat back four, where you need one left center back and right center back, right back, and you could say, and you need two full backs. But let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, look, he hasn't been the best, so it was good to see him do this again. He had one really good game in the Conference League as well earlier on, but yeah, he just has not been consistent at all and hasn't looked too good. It was good to see him do it again in the Premier League game as well. Would I start him over Cole at the moment? Based on that game, I probably would, just because I do like I like that balance of having a guy that's more calm, more sits back a little bit more, doesn't go out as much, and I have one that does do that, an aggressive defender. So him and Fofana would work because that's the same argument for Tosin as well, though.
Yeah,
I
but
would
I
like
wouldn't do him and Tosin because you could argue, irrespective. Yeah, I get it. One is left
no,
footed, one is predominantly right footed, but the truth remains, it's not going to be
they're
good
both too
balance.
calm. Yeah,
Yeah, too calm. Yeah, we need to mix it up
calm. Well,
with that
that's
aggression
exactly
that
what I mean.
Fofana brings to the table.
Yeah, that's what I
Did I
mean. I
tap in
wouldn't
on
play them
you?
together because they're too calm. You want one to be the aggressive and one to be calm. And yes,
Mhm.
so that combo would work, I think, pretty well. Can we say 100% we trust Badiashile yet? No, I can't say that 100% yet. I
But
think I have to see
you'd still select him over Levi Colwill.
right now after that game and seeing how Colwood's played the last few games. Yeah, because I've seen a lot more from Badiashile in this game than I've seen for Colwill for the last 4 games. So yeah, I would for that reason. But can we trust Badiashile 100%? No, we can't, because it's only, like I said, he's had one really good game in the Conference League, but even there he struggled a couple of games after that, and now he's had a really good game in the Premier League. So it's very hard to say. But I do like that one calm guy, one aggressive guy. So I think it could work. But yeah, it's very hard to say.
Just quickly, Dante, the one calm guy and one cool-headed guy, is that a common practice or just something you can say we as Chelsea fans, we picked from Thomas Tuchel's, you can say, pairing at the time. And every time we start a game, we have one cool-headed guy and then one crazy guy on the pitch. I think probably that was when maybe we become accustomed to, you can say, mixing things up at the back line like that.
No, I've been like that pretty much when I've played, and I've loved that, like that in my combination for my fullbacks and the coaches I played for and stuff. Yeah, they all like that as well. That's how I grew up on that sort of thing. When we always put two guys together that are hotheads and that come out like crazy and go progress with the ball, it only causes a lot of problems. I think that's just well known around the world. It's a good combination to have, basically, because you
So
got
it's a
one guy
common
that
practice, you're saying.
it's a common practice. It's easier to say, but it's harder to find those players sometimes, because sometimes the other player that's calm and the other player that's aggressive is much better than him. So you got to really find that combination. But that is the ultimate combination. If you find a guy that they can do that and they can complement each other, yeah, it's very good to have. It works really well. Now, I'm not saying that the other way doesn't work as well, because if you remember our best defensive record we've ever had, that record, who was our two central defenders in that record, 15 goals a season?
I think one Portugal, one English, I think.
Yeah, is that the names, coach? You don't know the names?
No, John Terry, the other one. Gosh. Carvalho,
yes. So that's one of those really rare instances where you've got two players that are really aggressive. Carvalho was the one that came out more, though. He would come out and challenge and chop everyone down and really aggressive. Terry had that aggressiveness to him, but he didn't come out as much. He stayed back. He was the one orchestrating. But that was one case where you've got two really aggressive guys that can do it, but one of them chose not to do it as much because they work so well together. So it can work together, but yeah, it's got to work. They got to be amazing players for that to work. So yeah, most of the time it's good to have that cool head. If you can find two guys that are really aggressive, like we have now, Colwell
I mean,
and Finn,
it's a good balance to have.
it's a great balance to have. Yeah, that only comes with maturity and experience. Look, it's hard to get the combination right, but once you get it right, it's pretty hard to break. So yeah,
And here's something else I wanted to talk about. I think Badiashile is adding something new to his game, probably down to the manager's demands of him. He's leaving his line to come to the central area to win the ball. He doesn't wait for the ball to come for him, and he did it successfully. I think on 3 occasions in that game. I have to rewatch it. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, Dante.
Yeah, he had to do that, coach, because we were playing with one defensive midfielder. So,
But that's not something he's done. He's done before. It's not part of it. You can't say that that's part of his game. Just like it is part of Tosin's game. We know that.
Yeah, it's not part of his game, but I have seen him do it before. So I have seen him do it, but yeah, it's not really part of his game. He doesn't do it often because we don't play like that often. But he can do it, and he showed now that he can do it. If you ask that of him, he can do it because he's a very good passer of the ball. His head is always up. He's very upright. His head is always up looking. He's a very good passer of the ball. So you can 100% do that, no problem.
Yeah, just 1 second. Let's hear what people have to say here. We've answered that question. Come on, Adam Vlog, the Bawash, right? You were saying Chelsea from Malaysia. Nice to see you, brother. We appreciate you here. Your opinion matters. Thank you for joining us. All we ask of you just to keep it civil. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Adam, nice to see you. Adam says Madrike out, but let me say hello to people in the chat, and we'll come back to talking about Madrike. That would be a good transition to the Madrike, a seamless transition to the Madrike conversation, given Adam's comment there. Adam, welcome. Top of the morning, Vic here to come. Who knows what agenda you were introduced today? What's buzzing, Vic? Any updates? Big up, Mark and Neum. Nice to see you. I do hope you're doing well. Adam here says Madrike out. Tevejo, let's start with you. Do you agree? I think I don't know how he got a rating of 7.6 in that game. Better is a higher rating than Wesley Fofana. I don't know how that happened, but let's see whether eye test speaks is telling us something different from numbers. Together, let's hear you, Madeke, in that game. Your thoughts of his performance on the day?
Yeah, man. With Noni Madueke, I don't know what is happening with this boy because he started very well in the season, but now every game he plays is on and off. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's bad. But again, I think he's more selfish than anything. So I was so sad that Pedro Neto was out due to a knock or something. Hopefully, Noni Madueke can be benched for 2 or 3 games so that he can wake up. Because at the moment, I don't think Noni Madueke is good enough. Defensively, yes, he's doing his job, but again, in terms of his main thing, which to create and score goals, I don't think he's doing enough. So overall, his performance for me, I was not happy. I don't want to lie, because I think Noni Madueke this time he's selfish. So that's my take on Noni.
Yeah, in my eyes, saying that he feels like a Madrika had a good game. It's just the end product, and that's look. We're Chelsea Football Club. If you cannot, you can say perform consistently, and only if you only perform every other game, just like every other 7 games in the case of Raheem Sterling, and it was Dante's card that term, so to speak. So my point is, if you cannot perform consistently, then you shouldn't be starting. I think we have all the options there, and you could argue he's a bit lucky that probably we're lacking in numbers in that case to some extent. For me, it wasn't the best of performances from him. and he hadn't, again, even before that game, he hadn't performed consistently. That one, when subbed, he showed dissent, which he said, yeah, he had to go take a dump quickly after taking off. And my question is, what could have happened had he stayed on the pitch? I'm not sure what to make of that. We don't have the luxury of fielding players when they're not when they're out of form. Maybe he needs to, you can say, taste the bench for a bit. Someone that comes in, and then he go take the time, look himself in the mirror, and learn how to become better. Because the truth remains, if you play on the flanks as a winger, you should be creating a lot of chances, and he's not creating that much. And Pedro Neto comes on, he proves that, yeah, he's more into creating, but when if he finds opportunity to shoot, he shoots, but he doesn't try to shoot more often than he tries to create, which shows that he knows what he's doing. He tries to create more than he tries to shoot. He only shoots when the opportunity is clear. No other. The better option would be to shoot. That's when you see Pedro Neto shoot. Maybe that's something as now that Madueke becomes more polished, he'd learn how to, you can say, be less selfish and a bit more selfless, because he plays on the flanks. Even strikers sometimes need to be less selfish and a bit more selfless. But yeah, if need be, if they're struggling, if they're going through a period of goal drought, yeah, sometimes you hear people advising them to be a bit more selfish to get that initial goal, and then to get going. But that's right. We'll look at his numbers, and then I'll come to the panel. Let's hear Constantine Dante, his opinion of that. Yeah, he is inconsistent. That's the problem. And with Chelsea, if we're going to be fielding our players even when they're not performing consistently, that's going to cost us again. You can say that's going to define how we finish the season. Maybe Nani is younger Sterling. I think he can become better than Raheem Sterling, because he's still very young. But time doesn't wait for him. At a club like Chelsea, if he fails to deliver consistently, then yeah, he's going to be shown. He's going to. The club will look to sell him, unfortunately. So his numbers, he's rated 7.6. He played 85 minutes. Again, let's see what the numbers tell us. Whether I would see the numbers would tell us something different from what the eye test, showed us on the day. Let's see what we have here. Accurate passes 22 out of 27, 81%. Chances created 2, not bad. 2 chances created, not bad. Expected goals 0.47. Expected goals and targets 0.35. Expected assists 0.05. So that's poor, really. 0.52 fantasy points. We don't need that. Shot accuracy 2 out of 3, 67%. Big chances missed 1. For that chance missed, I don't blame him. He was in motion, and the ball, again, the level at which the ball was when he got the trajectory of the ball when he got to him made it difficult, and he did his best. Actually, he did what he had to do, which is not stay on the ground and try to shoot. I think he jumped a bit, probably to reduce to be on par with the height of the ball, but still, then you can say he was just unlucky, in my opinion. Shot accuracy 2 out of 3. We've looked at that one. Big chances missed 1. Touches 44 in total. Touches in opposition box 13 in total. Successful dribbles 2 out of 4. That's 50%. Not bad. Passes into the final third 1 time. That's nothing. That's because he lived there. Accurate crosses 0 out of 2. Did he take corners? Accurate long balls 1 again out of 100%. Dispossessed twice. Defense. Defensive actions, tackles 1 out of 1. That is something. Defensive actions 1. Recoveries 1. João Félix has a lot more recoveries. He has 5 in total, or even a lot more. Duels won 6. Duels lost 4. Grand duels won 5 out of 9. Not bad. 56%. Aerial duels won 1 out of 1. 100%. He was fouled twice. So not really a bad game, but you could say could do a lot better. Could have done a lot better in that game, in my opinion, but still not bad. This is not one of his worst games. But Dante, let's hear you. What do you make of his performance on the day?
Yeah, Maya, they're saying that he's inconsistent. No, he's not inconsistent. He's been below average for 8 games in a row now. So no, he's not inconsistent. He's very consistent with that at the moment. Like I keep saying, this is the only problem I have with Maresca is keep playing Noni Madueke on that right wing. I have no
Let me
idea
ask
why.
you this quickly. Let me ask you
Yep.
this quickly. What other option other player could have, you can say, fulfilled that role? If the manager, okay, let's say he decide again before that game, if he, who else? Let me just
Well,
simplify
yeah,
the
we know
question.
Neto was out, so we couldn't play Neto. Obviously, you still had
Mhm.
Palmer can move to the right wing very easily. Mudrik was on the bench. You can bring Mudrik on, no problem. There's plenty of play. There is options to play people there if you really want to. There is options. So that's not an excuse for me. There's always options to play someone. When someone's not performing, that's consistently underperforming. Yeah, there's always options on the bench for that. You can change it around pretty easily. Um, yeah, look, he was very bad. People saying he had a good game, then no, he was bad. He was pretty bad. If he every
When you
single
say he's
play,
back, can you elaborate? Give us instances what he
yeah.
did wrong here and there.
Well, for his position and what he needs to do, he was very, very bad because what we broke through Leicester so many times, we got the ball through them, got it to Palmer or Felix, and then we had players running forward, back post, through the middle, Enzo a few times. He gets the ball out wide, and what does he do with it? The play breaks down completely. Nothing happens. That happened maybe 10 to 12 times in the game. Well, that's a lot. If you're not, and not one pass in, one successful sort of pass to create chances, absolutely nothing. Everything broke down when we went to the right side because of Nani Madueke. Either he's going to take his man on and do his usual one turn, two turn, let's go on my left, let's try to have a shot, and just the defender blocks it because he's so predictable now. Everybody knows that he's going to do that. If he's going to try to go on the outside and take his man on, he lost the ball every time. The ball went out of play, actually, just rolled out because he's uncomfortable doing that. It's not really
So,
his game.
given what you just said, what makes him better? Like, put the ball inside the box without trying to dribble. When at the slightest of spaces you get, just like Kukurea did on that day, just like Pedro Neto
Yeah,
does whenever he's on the pitch, the slightest of spaces he finds, he puts in a cross into the box. But Madueke hardly ever does that, in my opinion. That's
never.
actually simple. If he can just adjust and you can say ask questions how he can get better. I know he learned how to shoot, so again, he when he gets a chance, he can say um
Yeah,
majority
but
of the
where does
time
he shoot, coach? What foot does he shoot with? His left,
left
right?
predominantly,
Well,
yeah.
if you're a defender before the game studying film, what are you going to do with Noni?
Always wait for him to try to cut back in and shoot.
And
But
what have
here's
we
the
seen
thing,
the last 8 games him do? Every game. How many block shots on his left?
a
Probably
lot. But here's
a
the thing,
lot.
what I want to say is this, Dante. What he can do, I don't know if you agree with me. What he can do to become better, to be a lot less selfish because he's on the flanks. And when the slightest of chances he gets, just put it in the box. Don't try to dribble.
Exactly. It's not
Eh,
that hard. First time, you either put it in first time because that the defenders are not set, and we had so many players in the box this game. He never put it in first time. He always, like I said, see, Nani's a player like Tebega was saying. He's selfish because he always thinks of himself first, that he wants to score. Secondary is he wants to assist, but it's always too late for that because number one is to score. He has
He
zero.
doesn't simplify it.
He's got zero assists, coach. Zero assists in the season. Zero for a winger. Zero assists. So what's he doing as a winger? What is he providing the team as a winger? If he's not assisting, number one is assist. You have to do as a winger, taking on your man and assisting. Secondary is scoring for a winger. It's not that important to score. It's good to score, but assist is number one. He's got zero assists. Well, for me, that's unacceptable.
And I think
And
he's
like
in
I said, this
trouble.
game,
Even people are saying, yeah, he's in trouble once Esther Whelan arrives. He's already in trouble because Pedro Neto seemed to be more effective on the right hand side.
yeah, look, I think he got lucky maybe the last couple of games because of Sancho pulling out, Neto pulling out. I don't think he would have played. So he actually got another couple of chances and he hasn't taken them again. And like I said earlier, Felix came on in this game, played, and you saw the work rate that Felix put in, the defensive running. We saw Nani on the right, just taking it easy, not really, not really getting back. So he's not even showing that passion to like Felix did. He's so comfortable at the moment. He's not showing that passion. He did that in the first couple of games in the season, but he hasn't done that for a while now. He's not showing that passion, that intent, at least to work back the other way and show that, look, I'm trying my best here. I'm still going to go and I'm still going to put tackles. No problem. He's just jogging about, because I was paying a bit more closer attention, jogging about a bit more, looking around, waiting for someone else to do that. So even that's not in the game at the moment. So for me, like I kept saying, Maresca is playing a very dangerous game because he's setting precedents here for other players. You don't play a player like that 8 games in a row that's absolutely doing nothing, not creating, not doing nothing. Yesterday, if he wasn't playing and Neto was playing, I guarantee you we would have scored 2 or 3 more goals and had more assists. Neto would have had a goal and probably 2 assists if he was playing yesterday. That's how many times we broke through Leicester and went out to the right-hand side, and the play broke down every single time. Nearly 12 times it broke down because of Madueke. That's nearly 12 chances you take away straight away. So,
Well, I'm going to
yeah.
tell you this, Dante. You say his name. That is very what's the word I'm looking for? You say it so correctly that one would think that you're an Igbo man. Actually, that's but we're from the same region of in Nigeria.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. The same
Well, I
language.
listen to you saying the names, so I can,
No,
follow
but you
your.
say it perfectly, really. And that one
Yeah.
would think, maybe you're from Nigeria. But go ahead with what you're saying. Sorry.
No, coach. I just hear you say them, pronounce it, so I get used to you saying them. So I hear you say them. So
No,
yeah,
I know you're not. I know you're
that
Romanian,
helps a lot.
Australian.
Yeah, look, very disappointed. Yeah, at Maresca first of all for keep playing him and not take. If it's take him off early, make a little bit of a point. Take him off for half time. Say it's not good enough. Take him off at half time. Taking off early, 60th minute. Don't let him play the full game again. Basically, he came off in the 85th minute. Why are you giving him that? Like I said, he's playing a dangerous game because he sets precedents for others, players, that we can play bad like that 8 games in a row and we're not getting changed. He hasn't done that with other players besides Sanchez, but that's a little bit different with the goalkeeper. We know reasons why. It's not exactly the same when you have so many other options for the wingers. So yeah, very disappointed. That's one I'm going to criticize Maresca a lot for that one because it's not acceptable for me, and it's affecting the team. It's affecting the team because we're not creating enough because of him, and I think we can be scoring more and assisting more. And yesterday as well, I'm 110% we would have scored, assisted more if there was Neto playing there or another player, because Madueke just has one thing on his mind, and that is to score first. And he doesn't care about the other side of it's secondary. It's in his mind, but it's secondary. And once that's secondary, yeah, it's too late because it takes another turn, it turns again, and the players are. If you look back at it, I'm not sure if everyone. There was probably 7 or 8 times where the players are screaming at him with their hands up. Enzo made runs in the box, which we don't see him do many of. There was players at the back post. Cucurella was at the back post twice, unopened, marked. The ball never got to him. And I think it's probably getting to the players as well now, because I saw a lot of frustration yesterday at him from the players because he was not cutting the ball across when he needs to assist and do that. And yeah, it's starting to annoy me as well. And yeah, it's mostly because, look, I don't mind Madueke. I thought he started the season amazingly well. The big criticism I had of him, he doesn't have a right foot. And what did he do against Wolves that game? He scored 3 goals with his right foot. The defenders were like, what the hell is going on? He's shooting with his right foot. He turned right and shot on his right. And he scored 3 goals because they never seen that before. I'm like, finally, he's turned this page. He's got a right foot. He got that into his book now. And now he's very unpredictable. But since then, 0 assists, nothing creation-wise. Goals, no goals, nothing. What is he doing then? What is he good for then? So yeah, sorry, a bit of a rant, but yeah, I'm over Madueke for now.
Yeah, you feel better now, or do you need cold water to help?
Let me
coming
get
down.
a cold Pepsi. I need some sugar. Where's Rich Money Makers?
All right, let's catch up with what we have in the chat. I'll come back to the panel, then we'll hear from Bobby himself. I wanted Bobby to go last, so that because I'm quite sure he'd say something that would need to respond to. Maybe Nani is younger Sterling. No, I think he can become better than Raheem Sterling, but he needs to look at just like he did in terms of putting away chances. He's improved in that aspect. He needs to understand that his
Sorry to
he
cut him
should be.
again. Sorry to
Sorry.
cut him. Please don't say he's become better than Sterling. Sterling did a lot for Liverpool, and when he was young at that age, he was a superstar basically at that age, and for Man
Yeah,
City.
and
Not
Klopp didn't
even
want to let
close.
him go actually when he.
It's
Yeah.
not even close what Sterling did. Not even close.
Yeah, he probably forgot Esther Williams in this way that he needs to perform. Then he will have more people to compete with. Yep, that's very correct. But right now, Pedro Neto is there, and like Dante explained, I think in the absence of Neto, he had the opportunity to still stake a claim, but he didn't do that really. Our wingers need an aerial threat. Jackson is good, but he still needs to improve. I think every league he's doing a lot better. That goal that Enzo Fernandez put away, it was the initial head that was from him. The only thing he didn't do was just you could say place it where the goalkeeper couldn't reach it, or not it on the carpet to make it difficult for the goalkeeper. He's improving, and I'm happy with what I've seen from him. But I get your point, really. Let's see what else we have here. Fair point. Not into a final third remains the same. Yep, that's where the problem lies. He needs to improve and improve very fast in that aspect. He's improved defensively. He's still a liability to a certain extent, but he's improved in that aspect. But sometimes he forgets he needs to track back and follow his mind, which was why you can argue Arsenal got that one goal against us, against Arsenal. He left the person he should be tracking, but had he tracked back, at least he'd be there to unsettle. Who was it again that scored that goal? Was it Martinelli? For them. Yeah, so let's see. The striker position affects our wingers game. Madrid or Sancho, even Neto. I don't think so. You should just pay attention to the manager's overall approach. He's not into your using your stereotypical number nines. He wants a fluid approach where anybody at any given time can be central and the other person goes to the flanks. But I get where you're coming from. I disagree. I mean, if you want to join us onto the panel to explain why that is the case, maybe you'll get me to understand what you're saying even better. He needs to work on his end product, final thought, decision making, just like Vic says is the case. It's not that difficult. But here's the thing: habit is usually not easy to do away. Yeah. Nani has a very good right foot. That miss, no, I don't think anybody, I wouldn't blame him for that miss. And I don't know whether Dante is blaming him for that miss. And I did explain at length that, he did all he had to do. When the ball is not on the carpet, when the ball comes to you again in the air, sometimes you need to jump to make it easier for you to keep it level. And he did that, but the only difference was that he went wide. It didn't go. I don't think he went up.
Coach,
Yeah.
Just to add to that one, so in those when we were doing that, the player always has to jump with 2 feet up because the attacking that's the easy finish, the easy option. Nani had to jump up with both his feet. He left his left foot behind.
Okay.
So yeah,
but my point is,
I
give him credit. He did what he had to do.
Yeah, you have to jump up with both your feet. Palmer was always going to put it on the carpet and go down low because that's the technical way to do it, the easy way to do it. Nani had to jump up with both his feet. He should know that it's going to go on the floor. But yeah, look, not that I'm criticizing him, but that's how you should do it. You always have to jump up with both your feet.
I mean, you're criticizing him. If you still have to say
it is a bit of a right,
then you're criticizing.
You should know better. You should know better. You have to jump up.
No, I'm not going to blame him for that miss, but that's just me. Go ahead with what you're saying.
Yeah, so there's a slight blame there. It's quick movement. It's hard, but yeah, that's what you should be doing. Even on the header, you said you don't blame him. Sorry, on the finish when Jackson crossed it across to him. That was a very easy put away with your head. It was a header. It was never jumping in the air high with your feet. That was a simple header, downwards header, straight into the back of the net. That
All
was
right,
should
let's
have been a
see.
goal.
Those two central, okay, those two central defenses and our goalkeeper are there. What? Okay. Let's see what else we have here. And Makinumi saying Enzo Fernandez, Fafana, Sanchez, Badiashile are much bigger problems in capacity in comparison to Madueke. I disagree. Dude, I'm sorry. No disrespect. Again, I respect your opinion, but I disagree. A lazy jump. I'm not reading that one. I cannot believe that you and Dante are agreeing here. Okay, the last one before I go to Bobby, and the Kendurance is saying I won't go hard on Nani for that one. No, I won't. That's me. Thank goodness you're on my side. But yeah, I agree. You are supposed to leap with both feet. I didn't even pay attention to whether he leaped with just one feet or the other. That's hilarious, really. But I'm not gonna go hard on him for that miss. I think he did his best, in my opinion. That's the least of my concerns with regards to what Nani, what he has to do to become a much better player. But we have Bobby in the house. Let's hear Bobby's opinion of on Nani Madueke's performance. Bobby, also we did talk about Enzo Fernandez, the difference he made on the day. He was obvious. Again, for those that understand football, would see he made a huge difference, in my opinion, and he was defensively actually solid than usual. But Bobby, let's hear you, and thank you for finding the time to be with us on the panel this morning.
Yeah, big up, guys.
Big up, Bobby.
Coach
Yeah.
always likes to keep me waiting because now
Yeah,
I
Bobby.
got like
Wait your
I
turn,
have
Bobby. Wait your
someone
turn.
coming at 2 o'clock, and he just held me up now. I hope he doesn't knock on my door. Listen, I want to first of all, before I talk about Fernandez, I've got to address the Noni situation. Look. There's always a bigger picture. It's just like, these whispers between us being linked with Jules Koundé. It's of no coincidence that that's happening, especially with all the injury issues with Reece James. The thing about, the crosses coming from the right, Reece James himself used to do quite a bit of that. And I know, Noni is most definitely a player in development, as is the whole team. We're still in development, we're still in evolution, we're still discovering ourselves. The thing with Noni is that he makes himself unlikable. He does things that irritates people. That goal he stopped from Cole Palmer, yeah, you can say it's not necessarily his fault, but why is it always him? And that the way he's laughing at the end, I get it. There was nothing negative in it, but it's just irritating. He makes people dislike him with these little antics. I have to take the penalty and all that. That stays in people's minds when you're not performing that well and you do perhaps need to go on the bench. What I will say in his defense is, I don't subscribe to attacking him when you have no other options. It's all very well saying, oh, he has to be dropped, yada, yada, yada. I agree, but for who? I'm glad you asked that question, Coach, because at the moment, we didn't really have that right wing alternative. And if we start saying people like Modric and so on, who themselves are in development, we're almost robbing Peter to pay Paul. So until we sort out the depth in that area, he tends to always sneak in. People like Neto, they are somewhat delicate. Neto, to me, is an excellent player, but you're playing him back to back to back after international games. You're looking for an injury there, and that's why he wasn't played. So the backup needs to be better. Gusto, yeah, he's good at that right back situation, but he's also a little bit delicate. And of course, we know about Reece James. So that whole right side lacks that fitness that is needed for us to be able to have depth there. So Noni, yes, he does need to be benched. You know, but he is fitter than all the other guys around him there at the moment. And until that is fully addressed in terms of personnel, which it probably won't be now till summer, because I don't really see us doing anything about it in January, we have to allow the coach to see if he can whip him into shape, as it were. I'm not saying, you know, literally, I'm just saying in terms of trying to get him to be more disciplined, trying to get him to be less irritating. His antics have made people dislike him. You know, he needs to stop those antics. He needs to be more aware of passing the ball. And yes, it's right. You know, one thing that stood out a lot with the Leicester situation was his inability to beat his man because he's become too predictable. And when you're predictable like that, you make your passing crisper, you pass quicker. So I don't know, you know, he's just one of those players that is a little bit of an Achilles heel in this squad at the moment. Um, Enzo, I was on a platform, I think I was on Gavin's platform and Ty's last night, and we were talking about Enzo and the usual discussion. Oh, he needs to go to Real Madrid. That's BS. Enzo Fernandez was bought at the price of 106 million. He has a 9.5 year contract. He is on within the wage structure, the higher echelons of that capped wage structure that we have. The club have no intention of selling Enzo Fernandez. Neither should they. Why do we always subscribe to reinforce other teams? Oh, let's have him go and sit on the bench for Real Madrid, because he will have a spell on the bench if he goes there. We watched yesterday how Mason Mount comes off the bench for Man United. Nobody cares. Whereas when he was on the bench for Chelsea, the fans were incandescent. Oh, Mount shouldn't be on the bench. Oh, Mount, look at him. He looks miserable. All this BS. I really wish we learn to understand who we are as a club. We're not in the business of getting rid of our best players. Look at our midfield as it is. We have a situation where they must rotate. And I'm so glad that Enzo really more or less reiterated that. Lavia can't play 90 minutes. Caicedo and Enzo came from a very tasking international duty and more or less stepped off the plane into training to be able to play in that game. Thankfully, Lavia came on for Caicedo in the match, and Enzo was the one that played 90, and it was a game that suited him. There will be games that he will start because it suits the way he plays, especially with these people that drop back. And there will be games he will come off the bench. That is the model for big time football. You're not going to have these players starting every single game, especially now that we have the opportunity to rotate our squad, get our squad used to the way the manager plays, get our squad used to each other, get the manager used to the squad, because of the European competition, the level of European competition we're in at the moment. Because hopefully by next season, when we're back in the Champions League, these guys have to fit in immediately. They need to be able to be at top level immediately, because in the Champions League, you must play the best as well as in the league. And one thing that a lot of people are negating, and now we're seeing it in with Man City, with Arsenal. Liverpool haven't had their dose yet, but trust me, it's coming. We're playing too much football. The best players are playing far too much football. With these internationals, we have the Nations League, we have the European Championship qualifiers, we have the World Cup qualifiers. Every minute these players are playing midweek, 2 games, 3 games, 4 games. It's not sustainable. If you don't have a squad that can rotate them, you're going to have injuries. We already have injury prone players as it is, so they must rotate. Enzo Fernandez is where he's supposed to be. He's going to be in the rotational system. I don't know why we have a fan base clamoring to get him out. No, he's excellent in what he does. I remember in your on your platform, coach, you were saying, "Oh, he should start in this game," and I was saying, maybe Lavia, maybe I was even thinking of even getting Carney back because of that long distance travel that he did. As it was, because of the international break. As it turned out, the game was perfect for him, and he was arguably the best player on the day. So these things will happen. We have to be in that mentality. It makes me absolutely laugh when you look at Arsenal's midfield bench and you see Marino on the bench, you see Zinchenko, you see Jorginho and a couple of their youngsters on the bench. Marino coming on for Declan Rice and all these interchange. Nobody's bothered. But if it's Chelsea, one player on the bench for 5 minutes, our own fan base is screaming and shouting. It's ridiculous. Look at Real Madrid. You know, I know they have injury problems now. Camavinga, Tchouaméni, even the great Luka Modric. You see them coming off the bench. They interchange, they rotate, they play players starting for certain games and off the bench for others. You know, starting now is a whole different kettle of fish. Now that we have 5 substitutions to make, a team can change. You can get a good 30 minutes of football by coming off the bench. The whole Nkunku Jackson situation. Jackson, who, by the way, I think it's very tempting to start looking at him as Chelsea's main striker in the long term because he's playing that way. You know, if anybody comes in, it may not necessarily be till the beginning of next season. And that player is going to have a problem on his hands because I can see the way Jackson is improving. He's really making himself to be the man for that occasion. On the platform last night, we had a discussion, and it was almost a unanimous agreement that if you look at the way Jackson plays and even the way Haaland plays, some people were saying he's better. I'm saying he's a more complete footballer. And the goals Haaland have scored in a team that is settled, a team that is that feeds him. It's I think now Jackson's on 7. I think Haaland's on 9. I'm talking of Premier League goals. He's certainly catching up. And Haaland takes penalties. Jackson's goals are all outfield goals. So he's not a player that should be sniffed at all. And yet, in the process of our development, he's still developing. What am I saying? Because your question was about Enzo, if I've not lost my whole trend of thought with various other issues. What I'm saying is that we have to think in terms of the squad. The squad must be able to rotate. The squad must have players that can fit in at any time, in and out of the picture. There should never be anybody in that Chelsea team that cannot have a period on the bench. The goalkeeping situation is different. The striking situation is slightly different. I was disappointed not seeing not seeing Nkunku start in the game against Leicester. But the way the game panned out, I kind of understand why he's doing that. Nkunku himself, he will get his turn to start, but he showed us his hand. Remember, coach, I told you when Maresca says what he's going to do, believe him. He said he
Mhm.
was going to do things differently. He also said that there will be occasions he will play both Palmer and João Felix, and he will play both Jackson and Nkunku, and he did all those things. So we need to think squad now, not think, oh, first 11, oh, this player has to play, this player has to play. Football doesn't work like that anymore. The workload is far too much to allow it.
Yep, I appreciate you, Bobby. And again, the most important thing I learned from that is that let's think squad and not team A, team B squad. is important. The depth we have is important. No single player will play every game, irrespective of how well they're doing in a particular competition. Every now and then, you'd see the manager rotate things to ensure to keep things fresh and not overload a player. So because Tabejo had to make some sacrifice, because when I realized this shows were scheduled at the same time, I emailed him and messaged him and asked him if he could postpone his show to 2 hours later, or should I start an hour later? And he said no, he can. He accepted to postpone his show by 2 hours, and that has helped us. You could say not overlap, because we're like a family here. So we have to end it now to go join them. Again, if you're enjoying the show here, I'll be there for a few minutes, and then I'll be out again to go help my boys get ready for school, and I'll come back to the panel. Let's see what else we have here. This says, after 60 games for Chelsea, I haven't seen enough of Chukwuemeka. Madueke gives some, who maybe Tariq Judge has shown, for me, he has to still to become even better than Madueke. Was it George? Who was that? Yeah, I think it was George. The kid that played midweek in one of the games and nearly got a goal. People are mad at Enzo because he had 5 different managers and 3 years to prove himself, but still hasn't. Having 5 different managers doesn't actually help. But I think since he's joined us, he's been actually one of our best players. He doesn't have 10,000 assists or 10,000 goals. But if you understand football, you'd know that, yeah, he's actually done well, in my opinion. Most teams in the Premier League have no tolerance for passengers whatsoever. Why fans are mad at Enzo? Enzo is never a passenger. I get it. Defensively, he's not the best, but I wouldn't go to the extent of saying he's passenger. And everything comes down to how you deploy him. In my opinion, we need to see Jorgensen. Let's see if that happens. We still need an Amara Dion Boniface type. We need a balance. Amara Dion, for me, even if he ends up scoring 10,000 goals at Porto, not me. I don't want him. Our defense, the players are shouting at Sanchez too. They know he's a problem. Dante, anything else you want to say before we'll go join Tabejo and support him?
All good, coach. We've covered everything, and yeah, everyone.
All right.
Show.
All right, thank you. With that, I want to
chat.
say thank you for Bobby for finding the time to be with us, and Dante himself, Nemaya Fawale, Makim Neum, Vic also, and all of you. If I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. See you guys next time, and Kendorans, of course. See you guys next time. God bless us all, and cheers. And please be sure to drop by Tabejo's YouTube channel, even if it's just drop a like on the stream to help him garner more likes, and in turn for us, the YouTube algorithm, to push the stream to more people who'd be interested in the topic. Please kindly do that. Thank you. God bless us all, and cheers.